Gates of honor. Mr. Chairman, honorable guests of honor, W, Mamao, Nananu, Nime, Name, divine priests and priestesses, invited guests, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I greet you in the name of the Supreme Creator, the divinities, and our worthy ancestors. In an attempt to explain the reason why we are gathered here, I need to take you briefly along the path of history. Let me state without diffidence that we are Africans. We live in Africa, and long before the colonial missionaries came to Africa, our ancestors knew God and worshipped Him through the divinities who served as intermediaries between Him and humanity. Like our ancestors, we revere God and obey His commandments. The honesty and zeal with which we revere God make God answer our prayers and supplication without hesitation. With the advent of colonialism and Christianity, however, the honest devotion to God, the African traditional religion, has been demonized in such a way that many practitioners are made to feel inferior to the practitioners of colonial and foreign religion. For close to 2 centuries, Mr. Chairman, proponents of colonial and foreign religion and their allies do everything they can to wipe out the God-given religion of Africa. The colonial government, which was later replaced by native government, did everything to delegitimize the native religion of Africa. Many African patriots pray to God to raise a leader for them, a leader who could unite them and give them the courage to withstand the demonization and subsequent denigration of their religion. God answered that prayer in 1982 when Reverend Dr. Vincent Kobna Damwa of blessed memory, who served as a Roman Catholic priest for 25 years, suddenly woke up from his slumber to realize that Christianity is a colonial and foreign religion packaged to make the African devalue his or her own culture. It therefore dawned on him that as a true African, it is better for him to re-sanctify his native African traditional religion and reorganize it. On December 22, 1982, Dr. Damwa took the bold step to throw the Bible and the Roman Catholic cassock back to the imperialists. He then announced the founding of Africania Mission to rehabilitate the demonized image of his native religion. He then adopted the title Osofo Konfo. He therefore came to be known as Osofo Konfo Dr. Kobina Damwa. I can say with authority that as a result of the bold step Dr. Damwa took, many adherents of African traditional religion are no more in the chain of mental slavery. True Africans shall always be grateful to him. Mr. Chairman, we are using this platform to challenge all African scholars to follow the footsteps of the late Dr. Kobina Damwa if they really want to be regarded as intellectuals. They need to acknowledge the fact that our ancestors knew God and were devoted to him long before the Christian colonial missionaries who claimed to be the inventors of God arrived on our shores. African scholars should wake up to the fact that the name of tomorrow is heaven. Nyami in Akan, Akan in Gan, etc. had been in those various languages for millennia before the arrival of the Europeans. How could true scholar of Africa sheepishly agree that it was Christian missionaries who introduced the Supreme Creator to Africa? If our scholars fail to face this aforementioned fact and therefore fail to follow the footsteps of the late Dr. Damwa, then we doubt the independence of their mentality. For it is the true scholar who is able to defend the values of his or her own people. It is very pathetic to note that even though Africa is blessed with many natural resources and human resources, today the African behave like the proverbial hunter who carries a load of elephant meat on his head but still chases a grasshopper. It is because the African has been misled into alleviating himself from his job. In order for Africa to behave, we need to return to our root. This is to our own authentic religion. Importance of establishing Libation Prayer Day. Mr. Chairman, at a forum like this, an important question needs to be asked. And the question is it right for any stranger to go to someone's homeland and force his religious belief on the indigenous of that land? The true To the true African, the answer is no. However, that is exactly what has been going on in Africa for close to 2 centuries. Throughout the world, all group of people set aside a day to express their gratitude to the Creator and the divinities for helping them to a point in life, either for good harvest or a successful migration. It is the same in we as Africans across all the tribes. During this time, the name of our great ancestors are called into memory through libation. We have realized that it is time to team up as a race to set a day aside to thank our ancestors for helping us to a point. For saving us from hunger time to harvest time, libation must flow for their honor. Libation must flow to their honor. The previous event taught us a lot of hard lessons, so we have to keep on readjusting our day till the elders advise us to place it in this time, like in this time in September. We thank them very much. I am therefore using this opportunity to thank the planning committee for their perseverance upon all the difficulties they are facing. Appeal to the government. We wish to use this platform to appeal to the government of Ghana to put measures in place to maintain and promote the cultural values of Africa. We have been witnesses to situations where libation prayer are prohibited at state functions. African Mission wish to express disappointment at this rather unfair and unfortunate discrimination against our national religion. It is the biggest insult to the dignities of Africans, and for that matter, Ghanaians, to call on leaders of foreign religion at a state function to pray while prohibiting our own form of prayer, which is libation prayer. We are again appealing to the government to put a stop to this insult to the dignity of Africa. Africans believe that we cannot allow religion to split us apart. In the same way, we also think that we can no more pretend that one religion is better than the other, and therefore allow that one to denigrate the others in a secular country like Ghana. After all, we have our tradition and culture as a nation. So it can even be said that Ghana is a traditional country than a secular one. We therefore wish to bring to the notice of the government that no, there is one particular religion which claims supremacy over the others, and the claim that it is in majority in Ghana. We beg to point out that the African traditional religion has rather large following. We therefore wish to emphasize here that if any government recognizes us as a religious group, we will recognize that government. If, however, a particular political party decides to look down upon our way of worship, we shall do well to ignore that political party when we get to the ballot box. It is too heartbreaking to give foreign religious groups holiday in honor of foreign ancestors without giving one for that of our African ancestors. It is even an insult to our government as an African. The holiday in honor of our ancestors must be considered immediately. We therefore propose National Libation Day as a Thanksgiving Day in honor of the Creator and our ancestors. Appeal to traditional believers. We also wish to use this platform to appeal to all traditional believers in Africa to be law-abiding so that we can all enjoy the peace prevailing in the country. Peace, we all know, is very important for for development. We must therefore fight to maintain it. We have all been witnesses to how Africa's traditional religious practice, Africa traditional religious